On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to install and run a new HVAC vent between your floor joists going to a new location. So make sure you stay tuned. Hey there friends, welcome to Fix This House. If you're new to the channel, consider pressing the subscribe notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. In this video, I'm just going to be showing you a basic DIY friendly way on how you can install HVAC vent piping all throughout your home, or if you want a specific place that you want to go relocate a vent pipe air duct to a specific room that you want to heat up or cool down. I'll show you the materials that I'll be using today. So these are 6 by 60. 6 means being 6-inch diameter, 60-inch length each. So I got 1, 2, 3 laid out so far. Maybe I'm gonna need a little bit more, so we're gonna end up cutting that later. So my end goal is gonna be on the end of this wall. So I am gonna be using a 6-inch boot. This is a 90 degrees, so this will be coming up towards my subfloor. Now this is size 10 inches by 4 inches, so pretty standard. You can get the one without a flange. This one, I chose the one with a flange. This is perfect for newer construction, say like what we're doing here. We're gonna be putting new subfloor. That's why it's better to have this. Now, if you see the other one, which is this one, no flange, pretty straightforward. These are better for those retrofits, hard to reach areas. Either or works. It's up to what your situation is. This is a 90 degree. This one's just straight. Before we go run our vent duct, we want to make sure that the path is clear. So obviously, I made a cut over here, and we're gonna feed it through there. Straight pipe onto this existing 90 degree elbow here that's also attached to this plenum. In layman's terms, is just the box that all the air will come out, going and feeding to where you want it. Installed incorrectly, so I'm going to show you how to fix this. Whoever serviced this, they use duct tape, which is a big no-no. We don't do that. These here are cross bridges. We're going to take out one of them off. This is for stiffening the joist, preventing it from rocking or flexing around. I'm going to put probably block on top of it to replace it so we can still have that stiffness. This is where our end point is, running all the way to that plenum. A little great tip that I want to show you. If you don't get anything out of this video, at least get this cool trick right here. It will make your job super fast and efficient, especially if you're doing a bunch of these runs. I know that you've probably been struggling to put these together, and it could take you minutes, even up to an hour, just trying to put this up because you're just trying to push it in and it just keeps popping back out. There's actually a really cool trick that you can do to make and install this easy. First, wear cut resistant gloves. Connect one end, just snaps, make it nice and even, like that. So you're gonna start doing like CPR style, compressions, all right, but with a tube. Okay, you're gonna push down, like so, all the way across, and you're gonna hear that snapping sound. Okay, there you go. And that's it. You got a nice close seam all the way through. It took like 30 seconds just doing that. What I like to do is I like to tape the seam. I like to use the foil tape, which you're gonna need foil tape anyways. I suggest you do not use duct tape on this. You can use duct tape, but it's for short-term temporary fixes if you are planning to go back and fix it. There is a run over here. Use duct tape, and over time, because of the temperature change, that thing will pulverize to dust, and that does not, it's not good practice, it's not the right way to do it, and it's out of code. So make sure you use foil tape. Creates a nice tight seal. Might only need about 3, but I ended up putting 1 just in case. So I like to take the throat and align it with here. I mean, it's just me being petty, but now we're gonna screw these in. I'm gonna be using number 8 1/2-inch self-piercing sheet metal screws. The reason why we screw this is because tape, not enough. You gotta make sure that this doesn't slip off. It's nice and secured. I'm gonna put foil tape on every seam where I see it. So you can tape over the seam, and you can tape over also the screws. It's best to prep everything while all the vent is out. Makes the job a lot easier rather than doing this and trying to install it as you go. So now you're probably wondering, how far should I place this vent boot from the wall? Well, if you have an unfinished wall like me, you would measure 3 to 3.5 inches away from the bottom plate or the stud wall. Just measure 3 inches, or for me, I would go 3.5 because I don't know if I'm going to be using thicker baseboard, because you want to account for the drywall, which is 1/2 inch, and for baseboards, which is usually 1/2 inch or 3/4, I'm probably going to be using thicker baseboards, so I'm going to go with 3.5. So that's why I would measure from the bottom plate of here, or from the stud for you, go 3.5, and from there you're going to mark it, and that's where you're going to measure from the edge of your boot. So 3.5. So with that being said, after you place your drywall and your baseboard, you should have a nice distance of here of about, say I got 1/2 inch drywall, 1/2 inch baseboard, then that would lead me to about 2.5 away from the finished wall. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, just to be safe, I would just go 3 inches. Most HVAC guys go 3 inches. That's kind of like the sweet spot for an unfinished wall. 2 inches if you have a finished wall. Okay, now this is for demonstration purposes only. I got a little piece of subfloor here. I'm gonna butt it up to where I made that cut before. This is just for demonstration purposes only. I'm gonna make my cut. So before I make this cut, I'd like to say big thanks to Lexavon for this tape measure. They make great tape measures. This is a 25-foot tape measure. It has a nice little stopper at the end for pressure, so you can put it out there, and then there's a bottom one. You just press, let go, and you can control it with this little button right here. It's got a good locking system. It's got great numbers, fractions, and also the back. So if you're looking for a great quality tape measure, hit up Lexavon. I'll leave all the tools and materials that I use within this video on the description down below. Check out those links. Let's get back to the video. This little mock-up cutout, line it up again. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna connect the same way I connected that boot with the screws and the tape. That's how I'm gonna do with every single connection. Make sure you wrap also the screws. Connect this. So there you got it. We got all the joints screwed and taped on each end. Look how nice and straight that is. Feed it through, because I can. There we go. The reason why I did this temporary cutout right now, so that when I put my straps, I know exactly how much slack that I can place, because I don't want it drooping down. I want it exactly where it's gonna sit if I had this subfloor installed. This is a galvanized, these are perforated hanger straps. These are 3/4 on 100. They were hanging around. They use it for plumbing, but I'm gonna use it for vent as well. I mean, if you have wider ones, the better. Never use wire when it comes to vent ducting, because over time, the vibration will damage your vent, and it could actually puncture or cut through the vent, leaving holes. Okay, so make sure you have nice wide ones. These are great because it's perforated. You can just pull it out of the box the length that you want. Just pull like so. I'm gonna cut it right here. Make sure that you place a strap on every fitting, okay? So whether that be going on an elbow, a T, a 90 like this, make sure you place one right close to it, okay? So that's gonna be supporting right there. I'm gonna go 3 feet. You can do whatever I want. It's my house, right? It's your house. Do whatever you want. The more brace, the better, actually. Got that nice and cradled. Again, there's no slack underneath. It's because if you have slack underneath, there's no point of these strappings. Cut them and make sure you fold your edges for safety. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing every 3 feet. Here's the progress so far, 3 feet. You can already tell that this elbow is connected wrong, because you know why? They used, that's right, duct tape. Duct tape does not last long. It pulverizes. It's temporary. Okay, there you go. The only way that I'm gonna go and switch this out or throw this away, put a new one in, is if I saw any type of rust on the inside. Again, this is galvanized steel, which rust. Every other fin we face up like that, and push it. Place it back in the plenum, put my hand in there like so, and I'm gonna use that to push the fins upwards. And once you have everything, you can actually still move this. You can still pivot this or move it around so that you can line it with your straight piece. Measuring the distance. So here's a little trick. So from here to here is 28. What I'm gonna do with my tape measure is I'm just gonna place it right on the rim right here so I can have a nice track. Close this off. And then from there to there, it just adds 2 inches more. So from the 30 mark, I'm just gonna go and glide like so. Then move the sheet metal, glide, sheet metal, glide. See that? I'm just gliding. I'm using the left side as a track. And just keeping short like that. Boom. Make it look good. And push it in. Easy. There you go. There you have it, friends. That's how you pretty much install new venting if you want to place a new boot to the straight duct all the way to the elbow. Again, friends, if you found this video super helpful and if you want to keep in track on my home renovation build on this one here on the lake home, keep in touch. Just make sure you subscribe and you'll continue seeing more projects as I go along. We're gonna hit up the sidings, the walls, framing, bathrooms. There's so much projects that I wanna share with you, friends. Make sure you subscribe so you can keep on track with all those things. So again, don't forget, I have a second YouTube channel made specifically for shorts, which is great for simple tips and tricks of the day. That's the channel for you, and if you love shorts. Again, friends, if you found this video super helpful, please hit that big thumbs up, press the subscribe notification bell, and I'll see you, friends, on the next video.